Well, Donald Trump's had a great week. I think the trip to Mexico, the manner in which he handled that. I thought his speech last night was amazingly powerful, and I just don't understand the people on the left who don't like America very much and resent it when a candidate for the American presidency actually lifts up the country and says, "I'll put America first." I kind of thought that was what he was supposed to do, but one of the things I think a lot of people don't understand about a poll, I always looked at polls not so much as a predictor of where things were going, but rather a reading of where they had just been. And so if you look at a poll showing that Trump is beginning to catch up to Hillary, that he's closing the gap, I think it's a better indication of the fact that he's having a good week, Hillary Clinton's having a terrible week. Look, Hillary's harder to find than Amelia Earhart right now. She's just not out there on the campaign trail.
I think she's been captured by the
Donald
Japanese.
Trump's everywhere.
Yeah.
Very possible.
So, I mean, I want to get back to what you said a second ago, because I think it's insightful, like most things that you say, that Trump is making a case for America, and that infuriates a certain sort of liberal. Also seems to me, I believe that he is making a case for democracy. There's something about immigration that's resonant because we have no recourse. People move refugees into your neighborhood. It makes, politicians feel virtuous, but you have no say in the matter. Do you think that's part of why this resonates with people?
Absolutely it does. And one of the things, Trump is not being given credit for the fact that last night in that speech, I thought he was very balanced in recognizing and paying respect to the fact that America is a land of immigrants. And immigrants have come and done great things, and they've assimilated into the country. And when they do assimilate into the country because they want to love America, be part of America, they bring great assets to us. But it's when they come to get something out of America that we don't have any responsibility. I mean, I think we ought to take a certain NFL quarterback, ask him where he'd like to go, and send him there with all of these liberals who somehow resent this country. If you really are that disgusted with America, just tell us where you'd like for us to send your things.
Well, so about that idiot football player whose name you didn't mention, and I won't either, Tim Kaine, who's not an idiot, who's I think a pretty decent guy running for vice president alongside Hillary Clinton, was asked not that long ago, today or yesterday, about this, and he had an opportunity to kind of stand up for, I don't know, America, the national anthem, basic values that we all share in common, and yet he took a pass and said, well, it's a free country, you can do whatever you want, I'm not going to judge. Why so cowardly? Who is he trying not to offend by not attacking this football player?
I guess the same people that don't want to offend a college kid and provide them a safe zone in case they get frightened by a Halloween costume or by the name of Donald Trump. Look, the reason you stand with the national anthem is not because you're standing and saying, I agree with everything my country does. You're standing as a matter of respect for everything the country represents and for all the people who have given you the freedom to stand there. It's the same thing when you go to a funeral. You don't go in making loud jokes and making a fool of yourself. You go with some level of respect. It has a simple background, Tucker. You and I and most Americans were raised with something called manners. Yeah. It doesn't mean that we always want to behave properly,
exactly,
but we do it because we're civil. And that little quarterback, that twit, that jerk, he ought to stand up for the simple reason that it's a respectful show of his manners.
Exactly.
What he's showing is he doesn't have any.
Well, he's an idiot, so I don't even hold him responsible. It's the rest of the adults in the room. Do you ever get the feeling that the people who run the country don't really believe in the country anymore?
Yeah, I do. And I think they go around the world apologizing for it. They want to talk about every sin we've ever committed, but they fail to point out that this is the country, the light on the hill, that people have been drawn to like a magnet because they know when they get here, they can be free. And one of the great experiences I've had, Tucker, is talking to people who are driving a cab, who came here and immigrated from Russia or from some country where they escaped the galloping terror of totalitarianism, and now they're building a business and a family, and they love this country. And I sometimes say, I wish a lot of native-born Americans could appreciate and love America as much as you, who have immigrated here
Amen.
and who have embraced this as your home.
I agree with that completely. Starting with the Obama administration, if you treated your family like the Obama administration treats the country, your kids would be in rehab. That is true. Governor
Very good.
Huckabee, great to see you tonight. Thanks a lot for joining us.
Nice to see you. You bet, Tucker.